perhaps she's calling me. I hear you loud and clear. Always do. I'm afraid though I can't stay out in this weather much longer. I fancy getting hit in the face with another stick. Someone... Foolish day for a strong. An average human would be picked and carried off in the wind like this. Why, hello! You've certainly chosen an unfortunate day to travel this road, now haven't you? My home? Well, yes, I suppose it must be new to you if you've come through here before. It has a rather unique way of... Well, it's hardly important at this very moment. Would you like to come inside and wait out the storm? You're welcome to stay the night if you must. I certainly like your chances in here better than your chances in whatever your little travel pack has to offer for shelter. A stranger? Well, indeed I am, but as are you, and yet here I am, providing you with humble invitation to my dwelling. For all I know, you could be preying on my goodwill. I invite you in, me, a peaceful man of lavish means who lives all alone. If you could rob me blind and leave me for dead, no one would be around to miss me. I doubt anyone would find my poor cadaver stuffed in an armoire for days, weeks perhaps. Only teasing, of course. If I thought you would do me any harm, I'd let you stay in the wine cellar, not the spare bedroom. Now, would you like to come in before the rain soaks through your very bones? I find storms such as these terribly unpleasant. What do you think? Ah, yes, that small detail. Well, you see, this home of mine was a gift from a very powerful woman many, many years ago. I always enjoyed travel, so she made me a house designed to do exactly that. She called it the Wandering Keep, a rather simple name for something as complex as this. The house will always provide everything I need to live comfortably and pursue my interests. And, additionally, as long as I know where I'm going, I can teleport it anywhere. Just wonderful, isn't it? You don't believe me? I promise it's true. In fact, I can prove it right now. Name one place you want to go, anywhere in the world. Truly, I mean it. Name anywhere you'd like to go. I'll take you there, free of charge. Ah, excellent. That's not far from here. Is that perhaps where you are on your way to? Silly question, I suppose it must be. All right then, brace yourself. See? Go, check the window. Incredible, right? I know, I must say, it's the best gift I've ever had the pleasure of receiving. Well, second best, perhaps. Oh, nothing, simply making conversation with myself. In any case, it looks like we didn't travel far enough to escape the storm's radius, so it would appear you're stuck in here for a while. Shall I show you around then? At least to the guest rooms. I doubt you'll be staying long enough to need the library or anything like that. What? Of course there's a library. What could possibly be more important to have in a home than a library? Well, perhaps a study. But outside of that, a library is a must. I'm a researcher of sorts. That's the reason, in part, as to why I travel as much as I do. One piece of scripture leads me to another, then another to a map, to an artifact of interest, to a treasure trove, all sorts of things. Perhaps you could even call me an adventurer. But truly what I seek is knowledge. Boring? Excuse me, there's nothing boring about knowledge. Reading the life's work of others who've died seeking the things I'm after is exceptionally entertaining. You'd be surprised what all they include as necessary to their research, honestly. For example, one man whose journals I acquired happened to include the dirty details of his bitter separation from his wife. Well, if he didn't want me to read it, he shouldn't have left it in with his journals. Although I suppose that particular notebook was labeled as a diary. Oh, come now, don't look so appalled. The man's been dead for well over a century. He'd hardly care now. No, hold on now. You can't go out there. You'll catch your death. I apologize. I shouldn't make light of the deceased in such a way. I'm a touch out of practice socializing with others, I'm afraid. My work forces me to lead a rather solitary lifestyle, but I don't want my ineptitude to cause you to brave the storm, so please, allow me to show you to your room. Why, thank you. Your benevolence is enchanting. Come, the guest rooms are this way. Here you are. It hardly matters which room you stay in, there's plenty of extras. Should you need me for any reason, I spend most of my days in my study. It's up the stairs you saw when you came in. Down the right hallway, second door on the right. As for food, you'll find the dining room to the left of the door when you came in. Food will appear thrice daily, in the morning, at noon, and in the evening. Don't miss it, though. Anything that doesn't get eaten will simply disappear an hour after it first graces the table. I promise you'll find something you like. It's mostly sweets these days. Cakes and treats and the like. Perhaps you can guess my weak spot when it comes to food. But there's plenty of other things for you to try as well. It's not all cream puffs, I swear. Well, I believe that's all the information you'll need for a single night stay at the Wandering Keep. Oh, yes, of course. My apologies. It completely slipped my mind. Claudius Ozeris. Pleasure to meet you. And you are... Names have changed with the times, I see. Well, I'm glad I could be of service to you, my friend. Make yourself comfortable. Take as long as you need. There's a washroom adjacent to your room. Take a bath if you wish while you wait for the storm to pass. Pleasant dreams, traveler. Good morning. Did you sleep well? Excellent. I'm glad to hear it. You look surprised. The house always creates grand feasts like this at mealtime. In all honesty, I'm not entirely certain why. I only need enough food for myself, and yet here is all this. Enough to feed a small army. Well, I do appreciate the variety. Why is there no bread? I suppose there isn't any. Presumably for the same reason I'm eating a slice of strawberry shortcake when it's still early morning. This place knows what I like. I despise bread. I suppose the house knows I would never eat it. Yes, I imagine it would sound silly to despise such a mundane, everyday food. I can't stand it, though. No matter what, it always tastes like mold to me. I haven't had a piece of bread I could stomach since childhood. Let me tell you, that was not yesterday. Oh, well, how old do you think I am? Oh, very close. You're a little over 400 years off, though. Does that surprise you? I'm told I don't quite look my age. Well, my hair has been silver since the day I was born, so that doesn't quite count. It's typical among elves. We never seem to look much older than 30 or 40 to you. The pointy ears didn't give it away. Well, I suppose they're not as pointy as some people in my family, and I do have a lot of hair. But anyway, yes, I'm an elf. We live quite a long time, and our looks never fade. Feels a bit like cheating to you, I'm sure. Now, please sit. Have something to eat. The storm is slowing, so I'm sure you'll be able to leave soon enough. What brings you to this town, anyway? Oh, really? A kindred spirit, then? Adventuring certainly is rewarding. You'll find things you've never seen in places many people will never be. It's interesting to consider, really, what you may see in your lifetime compared to what others will. Tell me, have you ever been to the God's Temple in Eruvia? It's quite a fascinating sight. Built on water, which is impressive on its own, but it's absolutely enormous, and the architecture is inspiring. Almost makes me want to spruce up this old shack. That's where the last of the Kandor family lives, the guardians who care for the temple. I'm always baffled by the number of people who don't know this, but the Kandor family really can communicate with the gods. No, really, it's true. I've seen them do it. It's quite a miraculous thing. I haven't been back at the temple in a decade or so I imagine the boy's all grown up now. Poor thing was left with his mother's legacy quite young. But enough of that dreariness. Tell me, where does a free spirit like yourself plan to go next? I'm sorry. What did you say? That's what I thought you said, but I'm afraid I have to ask why. Traveling with me is logical from a first glance. Of course, you'd have food, a bed, an efficient means of transportation. But why would you want to travel with somebody you only just met? I have my own agenda. You'll only be accompanying me to dusty old tombs and deep forests and caves. I can't see why you'd want to do that over traveling on your own. It's the difference between a guided tour drawn out of a hat and someone handing you a bag and the reins to a horse and saying, "Go wild." You seem to have put some thought into this. You're positive there's no ulterior motives. You aren't planning to take advantage of me, are you? Perhaps to steal all my research and trinkets for yourself. They're not old and dusty. They're precious, priceless artifacts, all of which are invaluable towards... Well, on second thought, never mind all that. If you truly wish to stay, I suppose I can stand to have a guest for a while longer. But in that case, I have some rules. They must be followed for you to stay in this house. If you break a rule, you'll have to leave. Got it? Yes, rules. Now, the first rule, never enter my room or my study without knocking and waiting to receive permission to enter. My second rule, never bring anyone back to this house without my express instruction and permission. And my third rule, and this is the absolute most important, never, ever disturb me on the day or night of a full moon. Do you understand? No matter what you need or what you hear, never enter my study on a full moon. Is that expressly clear? What? No, I'm not a werewolf. It's simply a day on which I attend the very important business in my study. And I can't focus if there are any distractions. If you can follow these rules, you're welcome to stay here for as long as you like. Do we have a deal? In that case, attend your business here in town. I'll be busy today. We can leave tomorrow, if you're ready by then, and go on to our next location. I'm sure by the time you're done, you're... Is that what you're eating? My goodness, we are truly alike. An entire pumpkin pie, really. Even I have the restraint not to eat the whole shortcake. Oh, and a handful of cream puffs. Well, I suppose I did say help yourself. Why not enjoy the treats when they're right in front of you? I have no room to talk. I do very much the same. All right then, cream puff. Oh, my humblest apologies. What would you have me call you then? Shortcake? Sweet tooth? Your name? Well, that's hardly any fun. Pumpkin pie is much more Hey, you could have taken my eye out. Perhaps cinnamon stick is more fitting for you, given the spice in your personality? Okay. I'm done. Put the knife down. Well, with that crisis averted, as I was saying, by the time you finish your breakfast, or rather dessert, the storm should have passed enough for you to do what you need to do. Well, that's plenty for me. I'll be up in my study or the library, should you need anything. Perhaps this wasn't such a great idea. Only time will tell. The outcome shouldn't really be of any consequence either way. I'll just sit back and see how things unfold from here. Stick. Yes, come in. Good morning to you as well. How are you settling in? Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Why am I... Ah, I often get carried away and miss a night of sleep. I'm not early to my study, I simply never left. Please, no need to concern yourself over me. My body doesn't need very much sleep. But you must have come here to say something other than good morning. Tell me, is there anything I can do for you? Ah, you've been spending some time in my library, then I take it? Yes, it's mostly historical, religious texts, or magical tomes and artifact almanacs. My focus work, you could say. I don't know if it will pique your interest, but it will certainly pass the time. Quite a bit of time. Ah, yes, of course. You're welcome to take any book you like from the library to your room or to a drawing room to read, wherever you feel comfortable. Just remember to put it back exactly where you found it once you finish reading it. I'm rather meticulous with my organization. It seems like there's something you want to say. Is there? You found a secret passage in my library. Impossible. I wonder who in the world could have put that there. Oh, right. It was me. I appreciate your respect for my privacy, but I don't mind showing you what's down there. If you're going to be staying here, I'd much rather you see it with me there to explain. It would seem you weren't quite honest with me. This lock is magical. I know when someone tries to open it. No need to look so anxious. I'm not angry. If I wasn't the fashioner of this lock, I would seriously doubt my own ability to crack it open, and I'm exceptionally confident with magic prowess. I'm sure you were just curious. I can certainly relate to that. After you. Yes, unsettling to say the least, I'm sure. I've kept and collected every magical item that I've found over the last 400 years or so that is designed to do harm. Like these rings over here. The one wearing the master ring would have total control over whoever's wearing the other, and there isn't much the victim can do to resist the power. That vial of liquid is a contained monster. If you let it out, it will torment you, get in your head and convince you to do things you never thought yourself capable of. Everything in here is extremely dangerous, hence the powerful lock. Please take care not to touch anything. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. You look frightened. I understand having all these things in a secret room in my house is surely not the best look for me. But please understand, I keep these here for a reason. Most of these items cannot be safely destroyed. I would be putting myself and others at risk if I tried. Like, that heart in the jar there looks ordinary, right? Macabre, but ordinary. You can connect it to someone to control them, and if you destroy it, that someone will die. And I have no way of knowing whether or not it's currently connected to someone. By destroying it, I could be killing them. Or the monster in the vial. If I try to destroy it, there's a chance it could escape and cause harm. Do you understand where I'm going with this? Yes, precisely. Simply keeping them contained and out of the hands of others, they pose no risk. That's why I live alone and travel as much as I do. Both in search of new items to remove from the metaphorical market and to protect the ones I already have from being discovered. And of course, I study them. Sometimes learning enough about them will lead me to another one, and so on and so forth. Noble, I don't know about that. I prefer smaller crowds. This is just a good excuse. Although I keep these protected from everyone, I don't entirely mind showing you. I get the feeling I can trust you with this information. And, well, now you see why it's so important that you don't bring people here without telling me first. If the wrong people found this out, I fear it could be disastrous. Even just staying in this room too long could tempt good people to use something from my collection. Come, let's leave the trinkets in peace before they start whispering to you. Oh, yes, they really will whisper to you. Some of them, anyway. Many contain evil creatures who will do anything to manipulate your mind, tell you what it thinks will convince you to do what it wants you to. I've learned to tune them out over time when I'm in there, but even I don't spend a lot of time in that room at once. I apologize for keeping it a secret from you until you discovered it for yourself, but I wasn't positive I could trust you. Now I'm not overly concerned with it. Difficult to break into, but certainly not impossible. You may not seem threatening, but most people with evil inclinations won't show them to you outright. How would I know for certain that your kind and understanding nature isn't a mere facade? Why do I trust you now? Well, in speaking to you several times, I'm confident I've gotten to know your mannerisms, and I never saw any indication of lies in our conversation. And no offense, but I'm positive I'm much stronger than you. There's hiding power, and then there's simply not having any. Oh, come now, Shortcake. You and I both know you haven't the slightest clue about magic. Well, maybe if you ask nicely, I'll teach you. But for now, I have to return to my study. It was awfully sweet of you to walk me back. Don't be mad. Run and get yourself some breakfast before the food disappears, all right? I certainly didn't expect that to be uncovered so quickly. What an interesting human companion I've come to find myself with. So long as that curiosity doesn't get us into any trouble, it's almost refreshing. Another day passes, leaving us another day closer to yet another full moon. How exhausting this is. Well, nothing to be done but endure it, after all. I have no intention of giving up and leaving this to fate. Not after all the work I've done getting me this far. Can you hear me, I wonder? Sometimes I feel like I hear your voice. It's honestly such a nuisance. You plague my thoughts enough as it is. I don't want to hear you calling for me. I certainly won't come to you, at least. Not for the reasons you want me to. 14 years of your torture and whining was more than enough for me. But then, I suppose we'll always be connected, won't we? Till the day we both die. I wonder if that's why I talk to you so often. It surprises me, really. I never want to speak to you again. Even when we finally meet once more, for the last time. I have nothing to say to you. I'm sure there's plenty I could say, but I don't think it would mean anything. You'd finally be able to hear me for certain, but I know you wouldn't be listening. My guest is a much better listener than you ever were. My dear cinnamon stick has followed my rules so far. I made it through 2 full moons without incident. Quite a sweet human, actually. I was surprised. Even after finding my treasure trove, they don't look at me differently. It seems as though the story I told was satisfactory. I mean, it was the truth, just missing a few details, that's all. The more of all that I keep to myself, the better. Anyway, in the long run, it won't matter much. This happy little dream of mine will come to an end before I ever see you again. Come in. Hello there, Shortcake. What seems to be the matter? Oh, no one. I was just thinking out loud. No cause for concern. I would warn you if I intended to have a visitor, but the chance of that happening is slim to none, so you needn't worry about that. So then, what brings you here? You brought that for me. Well, I dare say you're going to make me blush. Oh, I'm only teasing. The only thing I have eyes for is my work. I'm completely immune to your tactics. No, I'll take it. Thank you. I do appreciate it. What made you think to bring me something, though? Oh, keeping tabs on me then, are we? Well, in any case, thank you. Aw, you even know what I like. Is there anything else you needed? You seem as though you're nervous. Oh, I see. I'm sorry, but I've told you all I can regarding the issue of the full moon. It's work-related. That's all you need to know. Worried about me? Please, you're too kind. But I promise you there's nothing to concern yourself with. Well, I appreciate that. But there really isn't any way for you to help me with it. I don't suppose you are inquiring about this because you were eavesdropping on me just now, were you? It's all right. What exactly did you hear, though, might I ask? Oh, well, that explains why you're asking about it. I was just saying that the workload on the full moon can be a bit exhausting, that's all. It's very considerate of you to help me, but no need. You're already running a breakfast delivery service after all. That's doing plenty. Oh, what? You mean this isn't an everyday thing? Oh, well, try it. I'll have to use the stairs like a common elf after all. By the way, how did you sleep last night? I thought I heard you walking around downstairs sometime after midnight. Oh, good hearing. I'm quite well informed about what goes on in my own home. So you were, then? Was something troubling you? Oh, a bad dream. Then, what was it about? That's odd indeed. Perhaps it means something. Have you experienced memory-like dreams before? But not generally ones so frightening, I take it. This may seem an off-topic question, but what family do you come from? I see. Likely nothing, then. Well, if you find yourself having troubling dreams like that often, please let me know. There are people in this world who dream of the past and of the future. So I say it's best not to take any potential warning signs for granted. Not to worry, though. This house is plenty safe for you at the moment. Well, I'm fairly familiar with the family bloodlines that are known to have visions of past and future, so I thought perhaps you may hail from one of them, if things like that are a common occurrence to you. Do you know anything of seers? Well, in that case, allow me to explain a few key details. A seer, true to their name, is able to see visions of past and future, sometimes even the near present. Some visions are relevant to the seer's own future. They can often be warnings of danger to come, but not always. The first bloodline of seers were the Frostblooms, but I believe the late queen was the last of them. At least that I'm aware of. I'm old, but their family was ancient. The first seer dates back at least 2,000 years, and it was a created power through trials of experimentation. I've never met the man responsible for making a seer, but I know of him. I'm certain he's still alive. I would describe him as a mad scientist, in simple terms. No, he's not an elf. We don't live quite that long. He was a regular human, like yourself. The difference between you, though, is that he found himself serving the god of knowledge and truth, Origor. You didn't have much in the way of a religious education, did you? All right, well, I'll have to teach you then. I'll only tell you what you need to know for the context now. Each god chooses an arbiter, essentially a mortal they grant immortality in order to serve them, whom they also share a piece of their knowledge with. For a relevant example, the arbiter of the god of knowledge is able to impart his own knowledge on any intelligent creature,
The function, I believe, was so that whatever the Arbiter learned could be instantly and easily transferred to their master. They can also impart any information a creature should have. For example, Aurigor's Arbiter could restore someone's lost or forgotten memories. I do so love to see your eyes sparkle with such fascination. It warms my heart that you don't mind when I overload you with information. Or maybe it does irritate you and you're simply being polite. Who knows? In any case, I've gotten a little off topic. For now, don't concern yourself. It may very well just be a dream. You said what you saw was someone being pulled into a portal. You're not sure if it was you, though, correct? Well, it could have something to do with the artifact room. You don't have much reason to be down there, but all the same, take care to stay well away from it. Just in case. That's the only thing I can think of that might relate to it. But best to be cautious now than dead later. Although I still don't understand why your dream manifested as concern for me, I'm far more capable of self-defense than you are. However, considering that fork you threw at me, I still wouldn't risk crossing you if I didn't have to. No, you're welcome. I didn't really do anything, though. I have some more work to finish up, but we can play chess again later on if you'd like. You won't beat me a second time. Oh, did you really win that many games? Well, who's keeping score? Very well, then. I'll be along later on. Oh, by the way, if you have no objections, I need to make a stop at the temple I mentioned a while back. I have some things to discuss with two of the caretakers. I'm sure they'd grant you access to the temple as long as I'm accompanying you, if you're curious to see it. Yes? Wonderful. We'll depart tomorrow, then. Well, take care. That is going to be a problem. I certainly didn't see that coming. Seers are rare as it is, but one with the ability to see into the past without even trying. Maybe there's a way to block out the magic for the time being. No, too many variables. Curse the damned Arbiter of Aurigor. Having visions about past events that far back is just cheating. Revisiting any of that is the last thing I want to do. For now, all I can do is wait and see, and hope these visions let sleeping dogs lie. Just to be safe, I should hide that book. And I do believe that's checkmate. One more round. You can't possibly walk away from the game with a losing streak a mile long like that. My father taught me to play when I was young, but I only learned the basics from him. I used to play often with the woman who gave me this house. She too learned from her father, and from what I hear, he was an exceptionally knowledgeable man. I beat her regularly once I got good, so beating you is easy as pie. Oh, well, her name was Ari. I'm afraid we've lost touch. Love? No, I didn't love her. It wasn't like that. We were certainly close for a while, though. You've taken an interest in her. May I ask why? Yes, that makes sense. She gifted me this house, but I'm not entirely sure she made it. At least, not by herself. She possessed strong magic, something she inherited from her mother. I'm guessing she built it with her magic, and her mother helped make it work the way that she wanted it to. Well, that was nearly 3 centuries ago, so I suppose I'll never truly know. Now you're asking about my family. What's with the Inquisition into my past? Curiosity. Well, if you say so. I grew up in a small settlement village, but I struck out on my own once I was old enough. There isn't much to tell outside of that, honestly. Detailing every travel of my life would take quite some time. I thought we agreed you would leave all to do with the full moon and me alone, did we not? That's a technicality. Not disturbing me during that time extends to not asking questions, from my perspective. All right. That's fair enough. I should have known better than to let someone so curious stay here and expect my rules to be followed. If you're really dying for some details, then let's put it this way. On that day, something makes it difficult for me to function as I normally do, and I prefer not to be seen in a weakened state. There. Are you happy now that I've put my troubles on display for you? No. While I appreciate the sentiment, thank you, I'd still prefer to be left alone on that day. It's kind of you to worry, but I'm fine. I just get a little fatigued, but it's not too terrible. But being the recluse that I am, I'd rather deal with it on my own. Although I do truly appreciate your consideration. It's been nice having you here. I'd forgotten how it feels to have a companion. What was your life like in childhood? It's only fair for me to ask. You've inquired about my personal life. Oh, you grew up in Selenia. Do you mind if I ask, were you born before or after the current king murdered his brother and stole the throne for himself? You would have been too young to remember it all then. Oh? Did no one ever tell you the details before? Well, the common knowledge, at least, is that King Ander, the current king, killed his younger brother Ambrose, the queen, and their 2 young children. Ander had been banished years before, and during his younger brother's reign, he returned to the capital with power beyond that of a mortal. He burnt Ambrose and his family and anyone who defied him that day. The lesser-known details, though, are rather interesting. I happen to know quite a bit about the events of that day. If I told you how I got my information, it would only put you in danger. But if you're curious, I can tell you a few things I know. King Ander has several people helping him. A right-hand lady, Isla Withrow. She's a seer, just as you might be. But she's extremely powerful. She sacrificed most of her family in a ritual to give herself conditional immortality. A scientist and researcher, not unlike myself, Tyrion, he used to serve Orogor, the god of knowledge and truth, but he was cast aside by his god for his immoral experimentation. And unfortunately, Ender has a god on his side as well, not just the former servant of one. Yes, the disgraced prime deity himself, sure. I don't know how the two came into contact, and I don't think very many people know that the conflict between the two brothers has risen to the celestial level, but it's certainly frightening. You really don't know anything about the gods at all, do you? Well, Shur is a prime deity, which is what all pure-blooded gods are called. After an event several thousand years ago, he was cast out by the other gods, now making him a fallen prime deity, in other words, an evil god. His domains are wrath, trickery, grief. Before the incident that got him cast out, he was married to Neshmir, the goddess of death and repose. As I understand the series of events, he had a child with somebody else, betraying his wife. And I can't say I know much more than that. But you really should go through the books in the library. Not knowing any of the gods who created the world which you live in is almost laughable. I detest most of them, but at least I can tell you the names of them all. Don't test me. There are 8 prime deities, including the fallen god Shur, one dead god, the founder of the earth itself, and one minor god, the daughter of the god of knowledge and truth, and the goddess of love and magic. Oh, and a few demigods, but those aren't typically classed among true gods. Why are you laughing? You're the one who told me to prove that I know what I'm talking about. Oh, hush. Your teasing is usually enduring, but now I'm just unamused. Well, I suppose I can't expect everyone to be as interested in these things as I am. Yes, I said I detest most of them. That's correct. Well, just because I'm not a fan doesn't mean that I don't find them interesting. Why I dislike them, that's a very long story. One I'm not so eager to share. The only way you're getting that out of me is to tell me something interesting, and there isn't much I don't already know, so good luck. Unless you'd care to trade your own secrets. Come now, you must have something interesting to share. You know I'm a gossip. I can't help but be curious. Although, whatever you share, I can keep a secret. I mean, just look at the secrets in this house. I keep those quite well. Why do you look like you're about to confess to a crime? Oh dear. I'm not aiding and abetting a criminal, am I? Oh, is that the real reason you travel then? You're running. So you took something from the wrong people. What exactly defines the wrong people? The Thieves Guild in m4a. Well, you're bold, aren't you? That explains why you were so eager to travel in the storm the day I picked you up. You must have just pulled off your heist then, huh? Well, yes, stealing from the king of thieves himself is bound to get at least a few coins on your head. What was your long-term plan there? And what was so important that you decided to steal it? Fine. Keep your secrets. We all have them. But you can rest assured that you're safe here. From him, at least. I've run into him on a few occasions. He seemed like a surprisingly laid-back man for the thief of all thieves. Whatever you took must have been very important. That's all right. I won't pry. Although if you ever wish to show me your spoils, I also wouldn't say no. With each passing day, you become more and more fascinating, Shortcake. Oh, did I call you Shortcake? Whoops, it must have slipped out. No need to be so serious, my friend. I'm only teasing you. Life is so bland if you live it with just a furrowed brow. I'd know more about a dull existence than you might first think. Anyhow, I'm afraid I've just remembered there's something I need to attend to. We'll have to save our next match for another time. Why don't you spend a while in the library, expanding your knowledge for a bit? That way, every time we talk, I won't have to keep explaining the fundamentals to you every time I tell you a story. Until later, then. The company certainly has alleviated some boredom, but I'm getting distracted. Not to mention how all the magic I'm burning through is wearing out my body. The constant pain you bestowed on me is starting to gnaw away at my mind already. That feels a bit better. I know how things are going to end for me, so why am I so willing to entertain a companionship? Especially after it went so splendidly last time. Then again, now I know exactly why my dear Shortcake has come. I can't in good conscience deny a safe haven here. What to do then? Claudius, what have you gotten yourself into? I suppose for now I should just be grateful there's been no sign of any more visions, at least none that I'm aware of. I might as well rest for now. I'll have plenty to do later. Oh, curses. Where's the amulet? What a nuisance. As if being unable to fall asleep without knocking myself unconscious wasn't bad enough. I've gotten lost, the only artifact I have that enables myself to do so without repeated brain injury. Oh, wait, no, here it is. Strange. I could swear I left it on the night table. Somnum on the chai.
No, not quite right. Try lifting your hand a little more when you do the flicking motion. You need a little more power in the movement. No, something more like here. Much better. And while you're at it, widen your stance a little. Magic isn't without its kickback. You'll feel it when you go to cast an offensive spell, especially. Well, you need to learn defense before you can learn to strike back. I mean, if you can't block a hit, you won't be around long enough to return the favor to an opponent. Patience, my adventurous friend. Magic requires that above all else. It will come with time if it's meant to. All things do. You're getting closer each time we practice. Don't frown so much. Your face will stay like that permanently if you're not careful, you know. I mean, just yesterday you were holding a full ball of light in your hands. That's impressive, given that you've only been working at this for such a short time. I'd say that's enough for today. No need for you to become discouraged. It will affect your casting. Well, if you're still interested in seeing the temple, I can take you there now. I already discussed it with the Candor boy yesterday when we first arrived here. He said he took no issue with your presence, if you'd like to spend some time looking around. Splendid. I'm sure you'll love it. There's quite a bit to it, actually. Monks come here to train, scholars come here to learn. There's even a small town, if you can call it that, within the walls. It's sort of like a passing through town for the people who come to study. I wouldn't mind using their facilities myself if I was comfortable leaving my trinkets unattended for a time. But alas, I must maintain my watch over this house, and especially its contents. All right then, come now. Let's be off. Let's see. Over there is the main training yard. The Grand Monks teach the apprentices all kinds of things over there. A monk could train here for a few months, a few years, sometimes even decades. Over that way is a market. Some merchants are permitted to set up shop and sell good there, although they are thoroughly vetted. Well, about 15 or so years ago, the current priestess and her husband were assassinated by someone who opposed the gods. A heretic, if you will. They had one living child who survived. I mentioned him before. The family that sort of runs the temple here have been the ruling faction for hundreds of years. But anyway, the point of my statement, ever since that incident, security is incredibly tight. I mean, before that, anyone could march on in here and demand to see the priestess. But since that ended so spectacularly, they've become a touch more selective with who is permitted to set foot on the holy ground. I don't think they'd really considered how important the lineage was, but since it is the one and only true open path of communication with our celestial governments, most deem it essential to protect. Aha, and here we are. My favorite place in this entire temple, the library. Whatever, cinnamon sticks and stones. I can't help it if I'm smart and you're, well, you. Will my impeccable humor forever go unappreciated in its time? Oh, tragic. Yes, well, I thought it was clever. Anyhow, you could stand to read a few of these books here. They're all revolving around gods or magic or both. I believe there's a section for each god. Ooh, actually, it looks like they've expanded their collection significantly. I may have to stay a little while myself. Why don't you just spend some time wandering around? Knowing you'll have more fun without me talking your ear off about every minute detail of this place. I'll stay here and and read. Wonderful. Well, I'll be here when you get back. Go, have fun. I'll take this one. Oh, this one too. Well, I might as well take the second and third volume of this text as well. Oh, back already. That didn't take long. 4 hours. Huh. Really? It certainly didn't feel that long. Well, that's all right. I've been invested in a bit of light reading. What do you mean? I've only gone through 42 so far. Rude. Maybe if you picked up a book once in a while yourself, I wouldn't have to explain basic world concepts to you so often. Come now. Surely there must be something that catches your eye. Look around. I assure you I'm going to be here a while yet. Huh? How did a cookbook get misplaced among these? People have zero respect for organizational standards. I have absolutely no use for this, considering my house cooks for me. Put this back where it belongs, would you? It should be easy to find its place. There's a number on the spine. Oh, it seems you found something to read yourself. Oh, it was in the place of the book I asked you to return. Odd. What is it? How did that happen? That's not where I... my apologies. I shouldn't have ripped it from your hands, but I'll take care of it. No need to worry. Oh, I don't know. I haven't read this one. I couldn't hazard a guess as to its contents. I would greatly appreciate it if you didn't press this matter further. Now, I'm going to speak with the librarian so I can take a few of these home with me and return them later. I'll meet you at the gates, and we can make our way home. I think we've had enough adventure and excitement for one day. Looks like it's begun to rain. Good thing we left when we did. I would hate to be caught up in this. My hair becomes so frizzy when it's wet. You haven't said much since we left. Are you alright? Yes, that. I'm sorry. I regret my little outburst in the library. It simply caught me off guard, is all. That book, I mean. No. Well, yes. It's complicated. I haven't read that particular book, but I am familiar with the one who makes up its subject matter. I should have just told you rather than dodging the question, but it's not something I like to discuss if I can avoid it. Well, thank you. It's a great deal of comfort that you'd wish for me to confide in you, but in truth, it's likely better if I don't. I'm admittedly a little afraid of the position it would put you in and, well, what you may think of me. The problem is that I've come to enjoy your company quite a bit. I would hate to chase you away by taking up the past and involving you in it. No, you wouldn't be in any danger, no. I would always make sure of that. All right. I suppose to some degree I do owe you an explanation. The book you found, I don't know how it got there. Honestly, it unnerves me. It's too specific to be a coincidence. The book is about Ari, the woman who made this house, if you recall. She was my teacher. Beyond that, she was a celestial being, the daughter of two gods. How we came to meet is even more complicated, but irrelevant, but I was still a child at the time. My friend, he was my only friend, warned me against spending time with her. Her power was far too strong for mortal creatures like you and I. Over time, being exposed to that, infused with it even, took its toll on my body and my mind. And still, fool that I was, I spent nearly all my time with her. The magic she possessed and what she could teach me was too intoxicating to pull away from. I never even tried. That was until I noticed she was acting strange. She became more short-fused and ill-tempered with me. We used to meet in secret in the forests near my village, but she began insisting we meet on her plane of existence instead. I only found out why years later. But I went with her, which was one of my greater mistakes in life. The power in her domain was overwhelming. Incredible, but too much for me. The day I went to her ethereal part of the world, I only went for a few hours. But it destroyed things. Parts of my memories, my minds, were gone. I couldn't tell you the name of the friend who tried to keep me from Ari, because I have no idea what it was. My appearance had changed, although at that time we didn't really have access to mirrors or windows or large bodies of water. I never saw what I had become, but others were frightened by it. That's why I use a glamour to hide it now. Makes things much simpler. I never went to her world again after that. Granted, I was also never allowed out of the barn at that point. My parents decided it was best to keep me hidden from then on, lest I disturb the other villagers. I left as soon as I could. I was tired of eating scraps of molded bread and drinking water from a bucket filled by a leaky roof. Years later, Ari and I reconnected briefly. That's when she made this house for me. I believe it was perhaps an apology. I don't think she really understood the damages she had done, but she could feel the change between us. I never bothered to explain it to her. And, well, now here we are. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't go on too long. You've no doubt noticed my tendency to ramble a bit. Especially when I'm put on the spot like this. You're right. There is a bit more to the story than that. But, could we leave it there for now? I mean, I just spilled my heart out for you. Told you the source of my most painful secrets. And yet I still know nothing about you. Hardly seems fair, don't you think? I propose a trade to lighten the mood. Surely you must have something a little more uplifting to share with me. Oh? What do you mean by that? You don't remember? Really? You're suffering from amnesia? That... Interesting. I presume that happened before you stumbled across me, though. A year ago. Well, that must have made life difficult. But you remembered your name, at least. Well, that's good. It means the Fae aren't involved. I detest those tricky creatures. If you'd like, over the course of our journey, I'll do what I can to help you investigate your little bout of forgetfulness. Perhaps there's a way to undo it, or at least trace your steps back to uncover who you were. Oh? Whatever gave you that idea? I'm doing this purely out of the goodness of my ancient heart, not because I'm just nosy. You wound me, Shortcake. Well, either way, thank you. You're taking this pleasantly well, and it makes things much easier. If you don't mind, though, I think I would benefit from some time to myself. So I'll turn in a bit early tonight. And I'm going to move the house first. Something is making me a tad uneasy. Good night. And pleasant dreams, my friend.
So, when you told me before that you grew up in Selenia, I'm guessing you made that up. If all you remember is your name, then where you're from is a mystery. Ah, that makes sense. If it's the place you woke up a year ago, then it's the closest lead you have to where you came from, I see. That also explains why you know so little about recent history and such things. Well, if you keep following my rigorous study plan, you'll have no trouble fitting in with normal society. We'll resume your magical education once you're up to speed on everything else. It's far, far more important. Honestly, if you had just told me from the start, we likely would have been done by now. Oh? And what makes you trust me now?
You just do, huh? Well, thank you. We've been traveling together for, what, almost 6 months now. And even so, I'm still trying to get used to having another person around. It's quite strange after keeping to myself for so long. Well, it's different with you. Especially now that I know you came here for protection. Throwing you out would be just cruel at this point. But in truth, sometimes I wonder if you're in more danger with me than you would be on your own. Well, with my personal baggage and my work, I suppose lately I found myself wondering if it might be better if you struck out on your own. It's nothing against you, of course. I mean, even just putting aside the artifact room, if Ari ever came back, and even if... Why did you stop? Are you alright? I'm sorry! I didn't mean to upset you. It's not as though I'd kick you out with nowhere to go, and besides, we're nowhere near More High anymore. The King of Thieves would never find you. You'd be perfectly safe if you went on your way now. I don't understand what the fuss is about. Were you not always intending to leave eventually? Hold on, did you just refer to us as friends? Is that what we are? Well, yes, I addressed you as my friend on occasion, but I don't mean it when I say it. Wait, that came out wrong. Where are you going? Just wait. I didn't mean it like that. Shortcake, stop. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say it like that. Just tell me why you're so upset. Please. Well, I suppose I just didn't expect you to... I don't know. I don't know what I expected. I didn't think that far ahead. You're the first person I've spent this much time with in over 400 years, and I just have no idea what I'm doing, how I'm supposed to feel or how I'm supposed to act. And I don't know how to read you, not in a way that I need to in order to even be a good friend. My experience with relationships it's limited. No, you have every right to be upset. To you, I must seem cold. Please, understand that my reasons for suggesting that you move on from me is not because I dislike you. You're actually one of the few people I can stand. You're different. You listen. You treat me in a way that makes me feel like I belong. And that means more to me than you'll ever know. And I fear that if you stay with me, your feelings will change. For the worse. Shortcake, I admire you. Truly. I don't want to see you come to any harm, but I worry that with me you might. I suppose we are friends. I just never thought about it properly. But I would be selfish if I kept you here. There are some things I'll never be able to tell you. Because, like I said, I don't want to see you come to any harm. And, again, selfishly, I don't want you to see who I really am. What I really am. I never thought I'd care again what somebody may think of me, but I care about what you think of me. I'd rather watch you walk down the road without me, with only good memories in your heart. Because that way, at least one person will remember me as someone good long after I'm gone. It's complicated. There's something very important I have to do, and there's no way for me to keep my hands completely clean to accomplish it. Please, I wouldn't dream of getting you involved in this. You're good to me, my friend, but I am dealing with a monster here. I have to handle it on my own. Now, why don't we finish our walk? I'm sorry I ran my mouth and ruined it. It's such a nice day for a stroll through the forest, after all. Excellent. Thank you. We should do this more often, Shortcake. Walking with you is nice. What did you think of Linehelm, by the way? I assume that was your first time seeing snow? At least, the first time as far back as you can remember? Yes, well, when you travel as far north as this globe will allow, it does tend to get a bit chilly. Hey, I offered you my cloak. You said no. I believe your exact words were, "This is nothing, I'm not even cold," or something to that effect. All this time, and you still can't tolerate my completely harmless teasing. It's almost like you don't appreciate my carefully crafted travel plan. I put in so much work to make sure I could take you to all the places I think you'll love. Well, perhaps the library's new literature collection there had some small part in my decision to go there, but only a small part. Cinnamon sticks and stones. Actually, I noticed you've been spending quite a bit of time in my library. What have you been up to in there? I can't imagine you've been reading. I told you. I have excellent awareness of what goes on in my house. Oh, is that so? And have you found anything interesting in your independent research? Some new spells to try. Very good. I'll have you look them over and see if any of them are within your skill range. Anything else interesting? What? But where did you find that book? That's not where is there a particular reason you didn't mention that you'd found that journal before now? Well, no, I never intended to tell you about it. And I know for certain that's not where I left it. The same thing happened at the temple library, too. It's rather suspicious, actually. But I'll look into that later. You don't seem angry, despite having found proof that I lied to you. Why? Well, yes, I have my reasons, but I certainly didn't expect you to just accept that at face value. I suppose I might as well tell you now, then. That journal belonged to my friend, whom I told you that I could no longer remember. Obviously, that isn't true. The reason I told you that is because I want to keep you as far away from him as possible. He's dangerous. When we were children, I never went to see Ari by myself, and he'd never tried to stop me. We always went together. It was the three of us. My friend Zephyr was the first one to meet her. He only revealed her to me several months after they'd first met. I noticed he'd been getting distant, spending more and more time foraging in the woods surrounding our village. It struck me as strange, but I was so non-confrontational that I didn't dare ask him about it. He'd become more tense then. Eventually, one day I decided to follow him. That's when I saw them together in the forest. She looks like a normal human being, so at first I thought he had just made friends with the traveler. But once they realized I was there, Zephyr got angry with me for following him. Ari, on the other hand, seemed to take an interest in me. She didn't say why. I think that was where the rift forming between me and him became irreparable. He was angry that I stole her attention from him, and within a week, Ari started teaching me to use magic. Zephyr showed up to our meetings less and less, and before I even really noticed, it was just Ari and me. I allowed some girl and a couple of stupid magic tricks to come between me and the one who was like a brother to me. One day, when I returned home from one of our meetings, I found that Zephyr had left the village. He was far too young to be going out on his own, but he took food and clothes from the storehouse, so I knew he had no intention of coming back. I asked Ari to help me find him, but she refused. That was when she wanted to start meeting in her world. She said if I did, she could teach me how to find him myself. Foolishly, I went with her, and well, I'm not sure if you've realized it yet, but you saw the rest. Your dream, or rather your vision. The first one you had here. You saw someone getting pulled into a portal. That was me. You described it in such accurate detail, it was quite uncomfortable for me. What use would it have been to tell you the truth, then? Besides, I'm only telling you now because I have to. This isn't something I wanted you to know. Anyway, like I said, I wasn't there for long, I don't think. It felt like a few hours, maybe. It was hard to tell. I actually never made it past the portal. I'm not even sure mortal creatures like myself are supposed to be able to pass through it all. All I really remember is the colors and the pain. It felt like lightning coursing through my veins rather than blood. My body felt like it was being pulled in so many directions that I would just be ripped apart. My appearance changed, and eventually the portal threw me back out from where I came in, and it closed. I passed out after that. It couldn't have been for long because nobody had come looking for me yet. When I woke up, I could still feel the burning sensation under my skin. Unfortunately, that bit never got better with time. It's so distracting I'm unable to fall asleep without a magic amulet. How pathetic is that? Oh, it's not nearly as bad anymore. It's certainly better than it was before I imprisoned her. Yes, well, I was getting to that. After I met Ari again, I realized that I was not the first person she had deceived. Long story short, she hunted down people she saw great magic potential in and tricked them into coming into her world. Like an experiment of sorts. But to what end, I don't know. She told me I was the first to survive the process. She wanted me to go through the portal again. Luckily for myself, though, I was paranoid that she'd come back one day to try something like she did. I'd already been studying magical artifacts that I thought had a chance of giving me an edge over her. And I found one that I knew would be able to keep her contained. It was created by a clan of wizards with the intent of locking away the fallen god's share, but their city was destroyed just before they were able to complete it. So, of course, with my incredible talent and intellect, I was able to find it and complete it. So when she came to me, offered me this house, if I would go with her through the portal again, I tricked her, and I trapped her in the crystal the wizards made. It's a lot, I know. Luckily for my good self, I believe her parents were aware of how dangerous she was, and maybe they knew this was a necessary course of action. I've yet to be struck down by divine smite, so I can only assume I have their support. They're gods, so I can't imagine they don't know what I've done. So there. You know the truth. The whole truth, as best as I can tell it to you. Are you angry with me, Shortcake? Oh. You're an awfully kind person, you know that, Shortcake. Would you mind terribly if we discuss this more at a later time, though? I know you probably have questions and things of your own to say, but I'd like nothing more than to just walk with you for a while. I feel a sense of peace I haven't had in a long time. Just for a moment, I'd like to enjoy it. Thank you, my friend. And I promise, if you wish it, we'll have many adventures to come. I'll keep you safe if I must, so if you'd like to stay knowing what you do now, then you'll always have a place here with me. But for now, let us enjoy a wonderful day for a little longer, and just leave the rest of the world at the edge of these woods.